think you're so much better than me.
Oh, Meg, that is the least fancy thing I have ever heard.
So, Conan has been really quiet since I announced this video, weren't they? Misha here with my very first and only commentary style video. This is the first and last time you'll ever hear me speak on this channel. Yeah, I don't really like speaking in general. But I thought that just letting text slide through this video or using an AI generated voice would honestly make this video feel disheartening. So, sorry if my voice, pronunciation, or any of that annoys you. Sorry. Well, I am an AMV/GMV/tribute channel, as you may already know. So, what the hell even is this video? Well, when you manage to keep up with my channel for the last 3 months or so, you'd notice that within our community, there was a little bit of quote-unquote drama, if you will, particularly about the topic of content theft. Now, copying within the AMV community isn't something new, it never was. It's unfortunately a topic that will always be a form of discussion due to it happening frequently. Today, for this video, I wanted to look at one particular instance, the case of Conan Rambold with Dakota P, or CRBB Rand Mouri Star with Dakota P, as they are known as currently. Now, if not changing their name, was them trying to be mistaken for someone else when joining MEPs, or making research of them harder for me in particular, as it happened after me announcing I'll be making a video on them? That is anyone's guess, really. I'll be calling them Conan for short, and I'll be referring to them with gender-neutral pronouns for the sake of this video, as there isn't much known about them except the controversies they've gotten into with a lot of editors I follow and I'm close friends with. For the ones who don't know, Conan has been exposed by multiple creators for stealing people's videos and marketing it as their own, re-uploading stuff without permission, which is also stealing, being incredibly hard to work with. Many times they've joined an MEP, which is, by the way, short for multi-editor project, and overall not being the nicest creator in the community, at least not when it comes to taking criticism. Now, I don't say this to judge them on a personal level. Again, there isn't much known about this user, outside from how they've interacted with other creators online, and from how they have treated my friends. I don't want to know them personally, so please don't think that I make this video because I don't like Conan personally, or something like that. We never interacted much, they've never supported me outside MEPs, and if it wasn't for them joining 2 of my past MEPs back in 2022, I probably would have forgotten we've ever texted before. Seriously, this is how little I cared about them before Conan decided to go after my bestie, Meets-chan. But we'll get to that eventually. With that in mind, don't get it twisted. I didn't make this because I hate a person I barely know. It's more of an attempt of me to try to tackle the subject of plagiarism in our community and what we can do to avoid situations like that. So please, take it easy, and most importantly, do not harass anyone mentioned in this video. Also not Conan, please. And no, I am not just saying that to avoid a strike or any more drama, I genuinely mean it. Talking to Conan directly does nothing. People asking him politely to not steal videos did nothing. Calling them out in a community post for stealing people's stuff did nothing. Me texting them directly to own up to their mistakes did almost to nothing. You truly think harassment will make them suddenly become a good person that'll own up to their mistakes? If anything, confronting them will make matters worse. Trust me. So please, stop wasting your time trying to write hateful comments. It won't help the situation at all, and I don't condone cyber harassment, no matter which context. Now, for the ones who haven't caught up with the drama yet, and wonder what my part of the involvement is, let me recap all of that as quickly as possible. 2 YouTube friends of mine, and I alongside them, have already addressed this situation last year, where we worked together to gather more information about Conan to properly expose them. User Blossom Enrico has sort of kickstarted it by releasing a now deleted community post detailing and linking all the videos where he'd speculated about them potentially containing material of AMVs from other creators, linking multiple sources as evidence. Which got me quite interested, let's say. You know, usually when it comes to these copycats, they steal something once or twice, get called out, and never be seen again. But here, we have an instance of one person copying multiple editors throughout 2 entire years, building the channel off of it, while completely ignoring anyone who ever called them out throughout this time and still getting away with it. One of the people who also showed interest in the threads is another editor, Alina, who was one of the many people Conan has stolen from, in fact. Around early December of last year, we three kept ourselves involved about Conan, and me and Alina even discussed if any of us should make a video to better inform our friends about Conan. Cause making a community post may help to some extent, but I felt that me making a video would maybe help make a bigger difference. Now, we tried a lot of things, so don't think of us as people who just casually think about dropping videos about anyone we don't like. Please don't think that. Making this was hard for me for multiple reasons. One being that this quote-unquote drama more or less isn't really that relevant at this point anymore, as Conan has deleted most of their MEP parts whom contained stolen edits. I've already saved as many as I could to continue my investigation, but if you're planning on researching them up yourself, they're gone. Straight up. Now, did Conan really delete most of their videos after realizing they've done wrong? Or are they just trying to avoid a possible community guideline strike? Yeah, it's the latter. I don't want to go into speculation territory much in this video, honestly. I'll be primarily going into the controversy surrounding them. That is the least thing I can do for taking this long on this video, seriously. Yeah, apologies guys, but to my defense, research on Conan's videos on Bleach, Naruto, and Kakegurui were hard in particular, as these franchises have tons of thousands of AMVs, short edits on YouTube, Instagram, etc. He really could have gotten most of these from anywhere, so I was definitely struggling with more popular franchises many people edit with, and I am not really familiar with, than with smaller franchises I am familiar with. Like, I instantly recognized that they've stolen from an editor I primarily watch. Like I just seen this AMV so many times. I just saw it. I just knew they've stolen from it. This was really a gotcha moment. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's get finally into this video, shall we? I think that it's appropriate to begin this with the most recent controversy by the time of making this video. Their beef, quote-unquote, with user Meats-chan, also known as Kyo Milk Tita, sorry if I mispronounced your username there, bestie, also being known as the host of the channel Mythic's MEP Studios. Shout out to the channel. Here they make those MEP-style videos. It's a channel that is all about MEPs, magical girl-related ones to be exact. On December 20th of 2023, the Pink Magical Girl Queen Card MEP releases. A video that was made as a replacement to her last Pink Magical Girl AMV that sadly got striked, unfortunately, and a MEP where I was even a part of. I myself definitely consider this to be one of my favorite MEPs. Everyone worked truly hard on their parts. I was really glad to join. Speaking of people who joined it, taking a closer look at the description reveals one important thing to this video, that Conan was in fact planned to be in it, but was replaced by user Aaliyah, only rejected because of Conan's part seemingly having too low of a quality to be taken. No, seriously, look at this shit. So, understandably, my girl Angel just replaced them. After Conan not bothering to respond to her or to just re-upload the part in higher quality, Seriously, they could have just done it. I am also pretty sure that uploading in at least 720p60 was something listed within the rules for that particular MEP. So you can't just say, oh, they didn't know. They did. People need to read through the rules in the description before joining an MEP. Sure, there are people who just take the part without reading through the rules and without any consideration for the people who wanted to also join in, but couldn't because so many parts were taken by people who either don't care about the MEP and don't upload the part, or just sloppily put their part together with little to no effort whatsoever. Sorry for the side tangent, but I needed to get this out of my chest. This isn't a problem I have with Conan in particular. This is a problem that is widely spread within the MEP editing community. There are so many editors who just act downright disrespectful towards MEP hosts. And I am not gonna be dropping any names here, just to make that clear. Just know that Conan isn't the only example I could have brought up. Except, they're the only one who I could think of that straight up ripped the video they've been kicked out of from the host's YouTube channel and edited their rejected as pardon to upload it to their own shitty channel without credits. I am not making this up. This is real. By the way, no, not even people who worked themselves on them are allowed to re-upload full MEPs they've been in. Usually, you'll need permission from the host and everyone who's worked on it. Conan had none of that whatsoever, wasn't in the video, and still kept refusing to delete the re-upload, quote-unquote, when people asked him politely to take it down. Again, I don't want to judge Conan on a personal level, I don't know them. Some people can deal better with rejection than others, but in a multi-editor project, there needs to be at least some level of respect to be brought to the table within this group project, so to speak. Now, I don't know how often they've gotten kicked out of an MEP before, given I've literally seen them as an outro in almost every MEP I've seen last year. Heck, they've even been featured in my channel before I knew anything about them. But yeah, that was definitely on me. I take the L here for not informing myself at all about editors I've never seen up until that point, to just hand them apart in a video of mine. Yeah. I've learned from my mistakes, and ever since I've only let YouTube friends or editors I myself watch join in. I am also not gonna be making any MEPs from now on, for a reason completely unrelated to the Conan situation. There are just some certain people whom kinda killed all the fun for me. If you know, you know. To understand the word plagiarism better, I thought it would be smarter to go quickly over what the term means exactly, because I really don't want to start a pointless discussion in the comments about what is plagiarism and what isn't, if what Conan did could count as such, and all of that jazz, when there's quite literally a textbook definition and Conan's videos fitting that description perfectly. Plagiarism is described as the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own. By taking someone else's video and downloading it to later use as material for one of their videos, Conan is, by the very definition, plagiarizing said person. And yeah, I know this term is getting overused by people who use this accusation as a means to paint a certain person in a bad light. I'm aware. That's not what we're doing here. My friends and I have collected actual evidence to back that claim up. First and foremost, I gonna quickly count all of the creators Conan used to work with for at least once, or still does work with, and then we'll go quickly over the parts that Conan has made for each of them. Jackline, Meets John, Rube Enix, Kimarai Nuyu? I don't know. Me, about 2 years ago, because I was too lazy to fact check whomever I let join in my MEP, because 16-year-old me was so Lori Senpai, Taka-san, Takagacha, Aim and Fire, Multi-Dreamy Cutie, Summer Night City, Dream of Talia. Please let me know if I missed anyone, and apologies if I mispronounced any names. First, we'll take a look at all of Conan's videos for Rube Enix. My backup MEP Part 5 for Rube Enix. Kaguya's wearing a mask and glasses. Sorry. So, the first half of the part is just of the character, like, putting on a mask and glasses and wearing sunglasses. Yeah, there's nothing stolen there. But what caught my attention is the last, like, 2 seconds of the part, where it suddenly jumps into a different clip of the same character cheering. Completely different scene into a sparkling, like, cherry wine red background, and it's really low quality compared to the first half of the part, like the first clip. The first clip looks way more high quality, and then it suddenly jumps into like this random part here, and I couldn't read it at first, but if you look closely, the bottom, it's written out something that looks like it says solo, and immediately what got into my mind was a song named Solo by Clean Bandit. So I searched for it. 3 edits later, I found a short edit of the character in question and the song I was thinking of. And what do we have here? We have the exact same scene, but in higher quality. I found this edit by the user Yuzurika. I hope I am pronouncing it right. Next part was part 7 for the MEP Tag Your It. And that's a really interesting title. Anyways, the entirety of this part was taken from a Detective Conan edit with the character Jin by the user Natsu around the 4-second mark. Something that caught my attention was immediately that little watermark on the bottom right, which was a little hard to read because they laid their watermark over. At least they kind of tried to hide the fact that it's stolen. Not really, because they still like used an edit that had lyrics on it, so it was even easier for me to search it up. I don't know what the thought process of this was, I don't care. And something that bothers me especially is that they took it from somebody that has even less subscribers than them. Again, I have linked every single person that Conan has stolen from in the description, so please go and support Natsu. This next part doesn't appear to be stolen from somewhere. Same goes with this one. But the title heavily implies that this part is a reattempt, so they are able to redo the parts if the hosts ask for it. So why didn't they do that? Like Conan, you didn't need to like take the entire MEP to cut your really poorly done part in. Like you could have just done a reattempt and then I'll just forget it. Okay, so these next 3 parts are where I wasn't able to find anything. Like I already mentioned it, it's really nearly too impossible to find the original videos. I am still 100% sure that these 2 parts for Rube Enix, these Naruto parts, they must be either YouTube Shorts or Instagram edits, because I seriously couldn't find anything when regularly searching on YouTube. Like, these 2 are just lost on me. Same goes for the Bleach one. And the part with Mary Satome. Like, it's insane how long I've been sitting researching for these, and still couldn't find anything, and I have to give up. If any of you guys have any idea where these possibly could have come from, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be making a follow-up video. Let's continue with Lori Senpai, whom I'd say had just as many, if not more, instances of a Conan feature on her MEPs. This next video was discovered by Alina back in December when we were discussing planning to do a exposed video on Conan. In there, she left me a comment with 2 links, and we will now go into the first one in particular, and the second one we will get to. The first link bringing us to the channel Limericks, and it's from their most popular AMV with Mouri, Speechless. Conan's part is directly ripped and not edited in the slightest. It's directly ripped from the 1 minute and 1 second mark of the original AMV, here side by side. What really gave it away is the fact that, again, it wasn't altered in the slightest. The lyrics gave it away for her immediately, and that was also what I did for most of these parts throughout this video because Conan just didn't bother to use clips that don't add anything like watermarks or lyrics. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't have anything, and that's the parts where it were really difficult for me to search. But yeah, the lyrics just gave it away. And all other parts they made for her seem to me at least be nothing but, again, low quality clips. There isn't really editing here. Yeah. Now we'll take a look at Kimari, cause this is the channel Conan got featured in the most, due to the fact that the host can't fully understand English. Therefore, everything surrounding Conan sadly got lost to her. Conan used that language barrier to get into as many of her MEPs as possible. Now that Rubinix, Bullshit Studios, my bestie Meech-chan, and even Jackline have disassociated themselves with him. Now let this sink in. The only person who still lets them join MEPs is someone who wasn't able to caught up to the controversy because she doesn't fully understand the English language. That's it. Let this sink in. Guys, okay, so most of the parts for Kimari seem to be nothing but clips. But then there's this part from the cartoon Lollyrock, with a scene with the characters Ariana and Talia, and something that anyone will immediately notice are the lyrics above. I am 100% sure that these lyrics are from the song Perfect by Ed Sheeran. But somehow, like, there are many A&Bs with like Ed Sheeran songs like Shape of You, Photograph, etc. I don't really listen to his songs, I'm not a fan, sorry. So I just thought that, yeah, first thing a search up sure will be the right video, right? Not one single perfect AMV for Lollyrock. I am not kidding, I was searching so long, and these lyrics must be from the song. Like, I thought searching up this part would not be hard at all. It is. I know I have many people watching who also do, or like watching, a lot of Lollyrock AMVs, so please, if you guys know where this clip comes from, please contact me, because I did not expect to struggle hard at this one at all, I swear. Now, with the rest of the mentioned channels, each collabed once with Conan, so let's speedrun this. This part for Aim and Fire is ripped straight from a Sonic & Knuckles The Body Song AMV from user The Crosser 2.0. This information was the second link brought to me by Alina back in December. She also found this video by the user Mirajin, I hope that's how you pronounce them, which Conan plagiarized for this MEP part. The MEP part for Dream of Talia has 3 different bits and pieces of 3 other materials in it. The Cure Flora bit is just a regular clip. The Cure Beauty edit belonged to someone. One was harder to search, admittedly, since there's no watermark, but this Cure Beauty edit belongs to the user Pretty Cure Bra. So, again, stealing from people that had less following. And as I mentioned, I did carelessly let Conan join in 2 of my MEPs before, in the year of 2022, but I so far only have found 1, which is so obviously a clip taken from an AMV from the user, well, Nozomi Yumehara, as you can see by this giant ass watermark. I didn't care back then, quite literally. Not long after I posted this MEP, I privated it and later on deleted it, because I straight up hated everything about this MEP. Like, the process somehow wasn't satisfied with how it turned out. Again, I didn't even remember that Conan was in this MEP. I also didn't remember who even joined at all. I can't remember said MEP, again it's gone. I deleted it long before the Conan controversy. So there's that. Not an MEP part, but Conan's channel intro is quite literally just the channel intro taken from my friend Minty Puck Productions. Except the MLP clips, they've been replaced by Detective Conan clips. I didn't need to search that, by the way, I recognized that right away. This Conan edit by the user Sig has been used twice, for once an MEP part, and as material for their second channel intro. Now, these next 2 might be considered a bit of a stretch, and I could be wrong with my assumptions here, but I choose to include them anyways, just in case my guesses might be right. So, next Conan MEP part is taken from an Ran Mouri AMV, and what made me just a little uncertain was the added split screen effect. Because if Conan really stole this part, this would be the first time they tried to hide the fact it's directly ripped, by laying effects over it, which kinda confused me, but despite that, I'm 100% certain it's this AMV as the scenes are just too identical to be edited by someone other than the user Nia. And this Regina part for Takasan might be taken from an AMV by the user Precure Regina. Only thing that made me uncertain is the missing transition. Now, Conan could have cut the transition out. I don't have anything to prove that, sadly, but what brought me to the assumption that it got stolen from this AMV isn't only the exact same scene choices, but the fact that Conan has proven before to steal from smaller creators. Like, have you guys noticed that? The people he steals from never have more subs that go around 10k and above. The biggest channel they've stolen from had like 8k, I think. They steal from primarily small creators. And because they themselves are small, they think that that makes it okay. And some of them haven't uploaded in a while, something I also noticed. In fact, these two factors are so noticeable that I'm 100% sure it isn't coincidental, but strategic. As the smaller the viewer count is, the less likely fans will notice and report it. Which makes me believe the only reason they stole the Smile Precure Not Gonna Die AMV is because they thought that it was a small AMV made by a smaller creator, when in fact it's an AMV that was huge back then, yet sadly got struck by Toei because it was so huge and was re-uploaded by a smaller channel. It actually was made by IC Darkside, whom had a decently sized following. Conan would have not have taken the video knowing that. Or they wait until the YouTubers are inactive to steal their stuff. Or both, because obviously if the creators aren't really around, they won't notice. Now Conan loves to pretend they're stupid with typing like someone who smashed their face into the keyboard. Yet, somehow they're capable enough to carefully plan out all of this. Except that little misstep they had with the Smile Precure AMV. Which is why I think it's a facade. But we'll get to that in the next Conan video. As I actually planned to make this one long video going over everything, plans have changed. I decided to split everything surrounding the Conan situation down into 2 separate videos. In the next video, we'll take a deep dive into their channels. Yes, their channels. And analyze their content outside stolen work. I hope you guys look forward to it. And Conan, if you think that anything I said in this video was false, feel free to respond and correct me with actual evidence.